81333. Start your message with the word London. While you do that, we are going to go to Brent.
BBC Radio London Breakfast.
It's just a gorgeous part of London.
Very diverse.
There is so much going on.
Down Oxford Street.
Brick Lane.
Art galleries.
Great restaurants.
Best parts in London. A place I absolutely love and a place I'm proud to call home.
The 32.
Yes, that's right. We're in Brent this week. It's our final borough of the second season of the 32. Can you believe that since I started this show in the last 2 years, we have gone around every single borough in London twice. We're on our final one in Brent. This is so exciting. And we've been meeting the people of the boroughs over this season of the 32, and it's been incredible to meet the brilliant residents of London who just make boroughs and places what they are. It makes London what it is. So we're in Brent and we go to meet an entrepreneur who spends the time improving the lives of other. Tesse Akpeki is the first Black British woman to be awarded the acclaimed Champion of Governance Award. And I'm delighted to say she joins us this morning. Tesse, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Salma. A lovely way to start the morning, isn't it?
Isn't it just? I can feel your cheeriness and the fact that you must be a morning person down the line.
For you, I am.
Okay. Fine, let's go with that.
Oh, really?
Okay, let's pretend though. Let's just ignore that part and we'll pretend that you're just naturally this chirpy every morning. You're putting on a remarkable show, Tesse. Okay, let's start. Talk to us a little bit about what the Champion of Governance Award is, just for our listeners who haven't heard of it before.
This is an absolutely marvelous award because you can't nominate yourself for this award,
which is always a good prerequisite of any award.
Absolutely. You can't nominate yourself. Your peers, the people who you serve, nominate you. And that's what makes it so special. And it's not just the United Kingdom, it's also for the Republic of Ireland. But what it is, it's saying that governance, which people talk about in different ways, is in the person, and the person lives it in their professional life, in their personal life. People see it, people feel it. And every year somebody gets that award. And last year it happened to be me.
Oh, incredible. So tell us a little bit about the work that you do.
Well, governance is a very, can be perceived to be quite dry. Corporate governance, administration, leadership, negotiation, influencing can be very dry. And I do that. I mean, I'm a lawyer by background. I'm not practicing as a solicitor, but I'm a trained lawyer. And all the legal pieces, all the compliance pieces, actually, technically, I'm very, very sound. But what I bring to this role of being a governance champion, which has been acknowledged and appreciated, is people, caring about people, loving people, being compassionate about people, making peace, letting people bring their best self to whatever they do. That people piece plus the technical piece is where people say I do very well.
Oh, I mean, you say you're a lawyer, and I wonder, is that something you always wanted to do? Did you know that? Was that a trajectory in life? You were like, yes.
You make the best you ask the best questions. Actually, no, I wanted to be a theatre artist, but which is very far from being a lawyer.
Yeah, how did we get from there to law?
Well, my dad and my mom, they're African, right? And you either an accountant, a doctor, or a lawyer. I don't really like blood. I'm not great with figures. So I went for the law, but actually deep down, I'm a creative person. And I wanted to do that, but didn't have the guts to tell them. So it's out now.
They know, finally. That's it.
Today, for the first time.
Exactly.
Lawyer who won scholarships wanted to be.
Exactly. Well, listen, there's plenty of people from those communities and backgrounds, and in the Arab community as well. Don't be silly. You're not going to go into the arts. You're going to be a doctor or an engineer. That's it. There's lots of people listening going, yep, that was my life. That's what I did. So then I wonder, Tesse, how do you fulfill that creative desire in you? Is it hobbies? Is it immersing yourself in the arts? Is it consuming art and culture? How do you fulfill that? Because I think people who have that creativity inside of them, that doesn't just go away. It may lie nascent for years, but it is there in you.
I love your question, and I live my creativity in me. So on Sunday, I actually did the talk in church, and people were killing themselves laughing. as I talked about going for a meeting and my wig flying off and me running after on King's Cross, they loved it. And I actually bring it into my work. So, I run workshops on happiness and joy, grief and loss, how people live, and connect that to the governance piece. So for me, I don't want to bore myself. I don't want to bore others, but I want people to connect with their inner selves. And when they're laughing and when they're actually having the humor there, they're able to connect with what really matters. So I live it. But when I'm not working, I love going to the theater. And
Yes.
I've seen Hamilton about 8 times. Wyatt King. I actually love the theatre, and I just live my dream through the actors.
Yes.
It lifts me, Salma. It lifts me, I tell you.
How beautiful.
It lifts me.
It sounds, Tessie, that there could also be a stand-up comedian future for you. You could... I think we could do that. But also your point about happiness workshops, tell me a little bit about that. What does that involve? Because we're at a time where people are struggling to find joy and happiness. We are in dark days. How do people tap into that happiness and joy?
Well, the thing, I'm a podcaster. I have 2 podcasts. And what I do, I bring guests on, people join. But how they find it is I ask, what really matters to you? What is it? If money was no object, if things happen, what would help you to feel that you're in the clouds and you're doing what you really love? And it's not a book that people need to read. It's actually an experience they have by tapping in to what they really care about and not being judged about that. And people have said to me, Tessie, this workshop was such fun, because probably they've been judged on things. Maybe they've even judged themselves. But when they connect deep down with what really matters to them, and it's not just because I used to do happiness workshops, right? Now what I do is I just do live listening. Live listening, because since COVID, we've known about sadness, we've known about pain and grief. And what I don't want to do is to think that when we're in pain and when we're in grief or when we're suffering or struggling, that it's something wrong with us. No, it's just that life happens and there are ups and there's downs. So how do you do things around? How do you be kind to yourself and kind to others? And in Brent, during COVID, we did that.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Tessie, before we go, tell people your podcast so that they can come and have more joy from you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. I have a podcast called Tessie Talks, and that talks about the professional angle of leadership, of governance.
Okay.
Tessie Leads is about people's stories.
Amazing.
People
It
telling
sounds
their stories.
incredible. Tesse Akpeki, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you've brought joy to all of our morning. We're about to hit 9 o'clock and you've got till Matthew finishes the news to get Kickstarters in. The theme is time, songs with time in the title. I'm